So today we're going to be checking out every unit that got buffed with the Valentine's update in Anime Last Stand. You can see I have every unit here on my team. We have 6 in total. We have Kenpunchi, Aisen, Erwin, Archer, and Erwin. Now I do have level 85 on every unit here except for Erwin, which it won't really matter on him. I do have a pretty good trait on all of them. I have Avatar on most, I have Overlord on Ains, and then I have All Seeing on my Erwin. None of them are going to have a skill tree or a soul or anything like that, and I do have an enchant on Aisen here that is the only enchant that will actually change his stats. So again, everything max level, pretty good traits, and then no enchants except for Aisen. We'll talk more about what every single buff does once we get into the showcase, but with that being said, let's get started. I guess we'll start with Kenpunchi. So Kenpunchi actually used to be a dark unit. He got his element changed to fire. I won't be going too in detail on what the ability cutscenes and stuff look like the VFX per attack, because if you want a detailed showcase of the unit, I should already have some on YouTube. We're mostly going to be looking at the stats and the changed passives today. So Kenpunchi does have the Rage passive, which every 30 kills he goes into a Rage mode. We'll see if we can catch that in action. But that apparently did get buffed and the duration increased, so kill requirement is lower. I think his damage also gets increased in it, his duration is increased, and overall every upgrade of his got buffed and his element got changed to fire. So if we take a look here, he does have Fear on placement, he has Hybrid on placement. He's 650, this is with Avatar once again. Keep upgrading him here, he gets Demonic Roar at upgrade 4. And he becomes full AoE, okay, 28.3 mil with his passive active every 3.84 seconds. 38 range, still Hybrid, full AoE. Keep going here, he gets a little bit expensive, 40k. But yeah, his damage isn't that bad for how old this unit is. You can see the buff definitely did help him. Demon Cut at upgrade 8, he is now Hemorrhage. And he is still Hybrid, but a Circle AoE. So Hemorrhage here is doing 73.2 mil right now. Keep upgrading him, 82.4. And a 91.6 on top of his 50 mil flat damage there. So, with his passive active, 65.4 million damage every 3.2 seconds, 56.3 range. And he does have 70.4 Hemorrhage damage, and Hemorrhage is very, very strong. So honestly not bad, but I do think he's probably one of the weaker buffed units of this update. Let's move on to Erwin. So Erwin, he does have Bleed on placement, ignore the magical enchant here because that is not going to change his damage at all. So 500k on placement over 3.01 seconds, 43.4 range, he is going to be 650 just like Kenpunchi. He is Hybrid and he does have Bleed. This guy is Nature, by the way. Keep going, he is pretty cheap so far, Double Edge Swing at upgrade 4, he does have a passive as well, Attack Giant. Every 7 attacks, self-buff damage by 15% for 20 seconds. I don't think anything with the passive change on this guy, it's just going to be a flat damage increase on all his attacks. So, upgrade 4, his new attack is once again a Circle AoE, it might have gotten bigger, 27.1 mil. Keep going here, 20k, 35k, upgrade 7, Attack Giant Slam, 53.8 mil every 5.28 seconds, he does gain Hemorrhage on upgrade 7. So Hemorrhage is the same effect as Kenpunchi, it is very good. And his damage is pretty high. Upgrade 9, he of course gains Berserk Giant, we know about that, that is a self buff. Pretty good, and he does get Sunburn for that, which might be a downgrade honestly, I think it might be worse than Hemorrhage, I'm not sure. But max him out here, he does gain a new ability called Coordinate Resonance. For the next 30 seconds, any enemy killed has a 100% chance of being summoned as a Titan, with 100% of the enemy's max HP. So pretty good summoning ability there if we pop it. We should see some enemies start to appear, yep, there we go, with their 100% of their health when they died, so pretty cool. He is also doing 89 mil damage every 5.28 seconds, on top of 108 mil from the Hemorrhage, so pretty good buff, honestly. I do, of course, have Avatar on this guy, and then the enchant is the Hex Dot right here. Now we have Archer, and Archer is a water starter unit. In my opinion, he's actually pretty good. He always was pretty solid, but he did get a DPS buff to all upgrades, apparently. So 2 million damage on placement every 5.17 seconds. He does have Bleed. He is only ground and a line AoE. Keep upgrading him here to 3.5k, 5k, and 9k for Dual Sword Slash, upgrade 3. He is now a full AoE hybrid unit, which is very good. 11.7 mil every 4.52 seconds with Bleed as well. He does also have a passive, which is what is lowering his SPA, so his SPA would normally be a little bit higher. Every 5 attacks reduce SPA by 15% for 15 seconds, Infinite Sword Creation. But keep going here, he is pretty expensive now, he's climbed up in his cost there. So Destructive Arrow, upgrade 7, 67.1 mil every 4.52 seconds, he is Bleed. And keep going, he's a Circle AoE now, by the way. 90k for final upgrade, 100 mil on the dot every 4.52 seconds, 51.1 range, still has Bleed, still has Hybrid. pretty solid units so far, but I think the next ones we're going to check out should be pretty crazy. Aisen. You can get this guy from the 1000-Year Blood War, Wand and Rick raids. He's pretty old, but he does have a passive Overwhelming Reiatsu. He's going to gain damage every kill, up to 3 times his damage apparently. And it's actually going to max out at 100 kills, if you're wondering, but 10.8 million damage on placement. He's currently ground, 2.5k to place, again, Avatar, max level, Glorious Enchant, and no skill tree. So 10.8 million damage every 3.92 seconds, 53.5 range, circle AoE, and the pressure status effect, which is going to be a very good support option. Keep upgrading him here. Auto 90 max at upgrade 3. He is now going to be hybrid and a circle AoE, already doing 144 million damage every 7.85 seconds. Again, that is after getting 100 kills with his passive. Let me get a unit down here so we don't lose to those flying ones that leaked by. But keep going here, 37.5k for his next upgrade, 75k, and 5 dragons. By the way, this entire time he still has pressure. 5 dragons, he is right now a circle AoE. This is going to cost 150k. And he is now a full AoE unit, so pretty big range too, 78.5 before skill tree or buffs, 216 million damage. Keep upgrading him here, he does still have pressure. 250k for final upgrade, and he is doing almost 300 million damage every 5.6 seconds. He does have pressure, and of course his passive is the exact same. If you're wondering what he's going to look like without that passive, so if we didn't kill anybody with him, I'm going to go ahead and sell him and replace him, but take that all in right there. 288 mil every 5.6 seconds, okay. Here to replace him. This is without any passive triggering, so without the passives, you can see. Check out his final damage is only 96 million, so yeah, that passive really is going to triple his damage. Very, very nice. Moving on to Ains, the Overlord guy, Supreme one. So this guy is from the Boss Rush game mode, and he is 7.5k to place. On placement, he is full AoE and hybrid. He also has the summoning passive, Come Forth Minions, has a 20% chance to turn the enemy into undead. You can see that kicking in probably. Not every enemy because it is a 20% chance, but there we go. Spawning them in. And his buff I think was also just a DPS increase to all upgrades, so nothing too crazy there. But we do have pretty good damage on placement. It was 9.4 mil and Fear full AoE hybrid. Keep going. Fallen down is 45k, upgrade 3. He is still full AoE, bigger range, and 150 mil every 12.7 seconds. So his SPA went up, his damage went up. Overall, not a huge increase though. Let's keep going. Oh, where's he at? Keep going, keep going. 120k. And 800k, final upgrade. The reason this is so expensive, we'll find out in a second. He gets an ability called Death to All, deals 150 times his damage in a full AoE after a 15-second countdown. So if I were to pop that here, I'm going to turn VFX on for that just because. Death to All. So take a look. Countdown above his head. When that hits 0, boom, he will unleash a nuke, doing apparently 150 times his damage, and his damage is currently 220 mil. He still does have Fear, full AoE hybrid, so pretty good, honestly. If we were to buff him with Erwin, Erwin is the next buff unit we can take a look at here. So Erwin has always been a support, but a pretty bad one. I don't know if you remember his Leader's Will passive used to be still a 50% or 15% damage increase, but it used to be only 30-second uptime, so pretty much 50%. But now he has a 59-second uptime with a 60-second cooldown, so it's pretty much always up. And then 15% damage buff and 2.5% range buff. Upgrade him for 100k here, by the way, 5k to place. He gets the ability of Leader's Influence on his first upgrade, which is going to buff the damage of all units in range by 30%, and randomly provide one of the following effects for 20 seconds. Plus 20% range, plus 10% crit chance, and plus 15% crit damage. Or sorry, not and, but optionally. It can be any one of those 3. 60-second global cooldown, by the way, so 20-second uptime, 60-second cooldown, pretty much a third uptime, so 33% uptime. If we were to pop that on a unit, for example, so Ains right here, 253 mil, let's go ahead and pop that on him, 319 mil. Pretty huge damage increase, and also, I think he might have gained crit damage for that one. Pretty cool, or maybe range, I'm not sure. But let's keep going, 300k. He gains the ability Final Speech, buffs the damage of all units in range by 50%, and crit rate by 25% for 120 seconds, with a 99999 global cooldown, so he's going to be pretty much a one-time use with that one. So let's take a look at our Ains here. If we were to pop the Leader's Influence ability, we can see he got a huge damage increase. Now we're going to pop the Final Speech, and it does stack for an even bigger damage increase, I believe. It was at 429 million for a second there, which was pretty good. So overall, I think the best units were the 3 that I showed last. I think Erwin is very good. I think Ains and Aisen are both very good as well. I do think Kenpunchi and Erwin are still pretty good buffs to have. I do think, overall, go for Aisen and Ainz if you want a dark unit. Anyways, yeah, that was it. I think they're actually very good. Let me know what you think about the buffs in the comments down below. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next one. And have a great day.